Hi, this is Angela. Today's a cup of tea. So today's question is, what defines you? What allows you to be defined? And I know I've talked about this on multiple webcasts and in multiple topics, but this deserves to be a topic in itself. And my understanding, of course, is that it's very important to talk about this way. So here I am. We have gone through this whole existence based on definition. We have decided to create definitions of ourselves, of what we are expected to be, expectations and boxes. We always talk about thinking outside the box, and I've been talking about so much about like how we should throw away the boxes. It's time to throw away the boxes, and that's really getting rid of the definitions. Because here's the thing: again, I'm going to come back to what I say so many times: is the only absolute in this universe is love. We made the rules. We can actually break them. Our choice. That was told to me by Krishna in a meditation once. Remember, we made the rules, we can change them. We made the laws, we can change them. It's our choice. We're just remembering that we can do that because we forgot for so long. It was part of that experience. We wanted to experience what it was like to feel like we were disempowered. And so we've done it so well. And in disempowering ourselves, what do? We put up these walls. And that's what I consider walls, is when we define. When we define, we say it has to be within this box. It has to be within these parameters. And if it's not within these parameters, then it can't be this. Well, that means that if it is this, but yet it is still this, how can that still exist? That causes a lot of issue. Only when we're trying to keep everything in a box. So that's what's key about defining ourselves. And as we are now coming to this point, this is such a crucial point on our spiritual journey, and we're going up that mountain, and we have this symphony going of such a beautifully fine-tuned, amazing, magnificent, complex piece of every single player has their very own part, their very unique part on this path of unity up to the top, to our oneness. How can we have definitions if every single path is individual? How can we define except by saying that there are no definitions? There are no boxes. We're getting rid of that. So it's really cool, and this is a really big expansion of the way we're used to thinking of. In simple terms, it comes down to this. How many times do we define somebody that we know, or we're told or we're taught how to define somebody we know based on things like their color hair, their gender, their height, their weight, their intelligence, where they live, whose family they come from, what they do for a living, what kind of family, so what kind of friends they have, what kind of car they have, what kind of clothes they wear. Good grief, we have an endless amount of definitions on how we judge, and that's what comes from definitions: judgment. If I see this, then I define a person that way, and I am judging them as to be this kind of person. So by removing boxes and removing definitions, we are removing judgment, because again, the only absolute is love. We've created judgment too. And judgment causes all this angst with the ego. So we need to thank the ego and say, you've done a fantastic job on this existence. You've done a just phenomenal job at being the one in control at the 3D level of consciousness. And now we are going to experience this next level all assimilated. And we're still going to have this individual point to us, but we're also then going to remember our oneness. And it's just going to be, this next level, and we've done this one to death, and it's been wonderful, and now it's time to move on. Thank you so much. And here's how it's going to be wonderful for all of us, for all levels of our consciousness, for all of us collectively, for all of us individually. But to do that, it's so important to release our definitions and how we define ourselves. How many times we define ourselves? Well, I will be successful if I get married, have 2 kids, white picket fence, a 4-door sedan, car, all that kind of stuff. Or I'll be successful if I have, this smoking career and, play on the side and no kids and freedom to do what I want. Everybody has their own definition of what they think that picture of that perfect self of them is supposed to be. But if we come back to also the idea that we are perfect, we're perfectly packaged for the experiences that we want to have in this particular lifetime, then we sort of lose the need to have to define and judge and whatever. And we're sort of coming through. Yes, there was a need for definition because of the fact of what we wanted to experience in duality. We had to define what duality was. We had to define what the laws were, instead of just being able to, sort of have that free based, water paint canvas or something, a finger painting canvas or something. But now it's time to release all that. A lot of times I get these people, I talk to people who are worried about, well, Emma, can I say this and still be Christian? Can I feel this way and still be Christian, or Hindu, or Jewish, or Muslim, or Zoroastrian, or Tao? Wow. Yes. So if you have that question, yes. If that's how your heart drives it. Now, but the next question is, why do you have such a need to be still in a box? We are all one. In the book The Third Coming, there is a reference to this interview that a reporter did with Gandhi. And when the reporter went into Gandhi's domicile, saw a picture of Jesus Christ hanging up on the wall. And the reporter asked Gandhi, well, I thought you were Hindu, so why is this up? And Gandhi said, well, I am Hindu, I am Christian, I am Buddhist, I am Jewish, I am Muslim. We are all part of the same. We're all the same. We're all one. The difference in the belief systems and everything else. They all are semantics, cultural semantics. The meaning of love behind all of them is the only thing, is what is really important. So many times we were looking at semantics. Well, can I do this and still be this? Oh, can I be in this box and still not be in this box? Can I be in this box and do something over here? Well, we're changing the rules, of course. Get rid of the definitions. Let's go. Let's let go of them. Can I do this and still do this? Wow, can I still, do this and be this kind of person? There are so many questions that come up this way. So it's something that's really important to consider. It's funny. And also how we define ourselves, how other people define us. And the more it's sort of like this circular thing, right? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do we define ourselves, or do others define us? Well, we define ourselves based on what we've been taught, how we've been taught others define us. So it is sort of circular, but it is pretty clear. If we let go of our definitions, then others will essentially let go of their definitions as well, or they won't. And if they don't, that's their judgment. That is their issue to resolve. Said that too. But what I really love is, okay, so I'm an 80s child. One of the best movies in the 80s, The Breakfast Club. At the end, it's this whole thing, if you haven't seen it, it's about all these kids in detention, this group of kids, and they're all from different cliques. Like there's the jock and the druggie and the princess and the nerd, all this stuff, right? And so I guess it's the assistant principal, puts them to the task of, at the end, they have to write this essay on who they think they are. And I love going back to that, because what a huge perception they did. Because essentially what they did was they collectively wrote that essay after all the stuff they went through that day together. And they said, we accept the fact we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. What we did was wrong, but we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete and a basket case, a princess and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club. How perfect. And it really sums up all of this, because we're coming to this crux, this apex and culmination of this existence, and we've done all of this. We've been the murdered and the murderer. We have been the thief and the one who got robbed. We have been the exalted and the depraved. We have been all of it. because that's what we wanted to do for this complete existence. And that's why we package ourselves differently every time. And again, that's a whole discussion for a different day on the whole multiple life thing, but something for consideration. So for today's clearing, let's go through the cosmic legalese. Would you like all the following without trauma, drama, or illness, without recreating a situation for illustration or experience, and all with ease, grace, balance, harmony, joy, fun, excitement, adventure, humor, and love? Would you like to receive that for all versions of you, all times, all places, into the ever-expanding universe, to infinity and beyond? Would you like to receive all information via instantaneous and comprehensive download with fully conscious understanding of the version of you and the time and place from when it is requested? And also, would you like any of Creator's truth understandings, definitions, perceptions to come in from this clearing to replace yours so they become yours for divine alignment? Here we go. So for the rest, would you like to dissolve, resolve, clear, and release any and all etheric binding agreements that require you to define yourself based on someone else's criteria, based on criteria that is taught to you, such as to be a good person, I must do this in my life. To be productive in my life, I must do this. Any kind of binding agreements that require you to think that way and to act that way and to be defined in a certain way. And then would you like to thank all parties involved, open the doors to apology and forgiveness in all directions between all parties, download the feelings and understanding of apology and forgiveness in all directions to and from all parties? Would you like also to get Creator's truth and understanding as to how these agreements have served you, how it will serve you to be without them, to resolve and clear out any other unfinished examples and experiences from this that you still wanted to have, so that just sort of gets downloaded? Would you like to pull out beliefs relating to these agreements, including to be a good person, I must do this. To be a fruitful person, I must do this. To be productive or worthy or lovable in life, I must do this. Any kind of defining belief, would you like to pull those? Pull all fears, anxieties, regrets, rejections, resentments, and anger regarding those beliefs from those agreements, and also pull the memory and energy of that from the cellular level, as well as all self-limiting thoughts, words, and actions from all of this at the cellular level. Transform to Creator's light, send it back to Creator. Close those receptors absolutely permanently, open new ones, saturate the cells with the highest vibration of Creator's unconditional love. Download the beliefs of I am undefined. I am limitless. I am allowed to define myself, and I am allowed to change that definition according to however I choose to reach my highest and best path. I am allowed to reach my highest and best path free of definition, free of limitation, free of being bound to be within a box. And all the feelings associated with that, including that you're worthy, deserving, and able to, that it is possible, allowed, okay, and safe to, that you're ready, willing, and able to, and that you have that in your life right now. To write that off as complete experiencing the Akashic Records. Heal, resolve, and clear the timeline in all directions to infinity with the platinum and violet flames, and then offer to any and all ancestors and descendants as they so choose to accept. If you would like all of that, take a deep breath, clear your mind, be open to receive, and say, yes, undefined. And that's it. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll talk to you later in the week. This is Angela with today's A Cup of Tea.